what a start to an episode. We literally started with Briggs screaming, banging on the door. I'm over here tapping about some song, and Blaze goes off. But literally we're talking about what if it doesn't go as planned. And the whole entire beginning of the show didn't go as planned. But you guys, I got to even learn some more about Steven's experience in undergrad. And you guys, it's really a treat. If you guys don't enjoy it, I did. So tune in to hear more about how Steven's plan didn't go the way he thought.
Perfect.
Welcome to the Mizell Show.
An inspiration for a new generation.
Hi, I'm Alanna Mizell, a loving mother of two, a devoted wife to Steven, and an entrepreneur helping women realize their dreams and potential.
And I'm Steven Mizell, caring father of two, a devoted husband to Alanna, and a driving force to help young men prepare for life after college football.
And if that wasn't enough, we're a biracial couple.
She was raised in the North, but I was raised in the South.
The only thing normal about our lives, who am I kidding? It's never normal around here. Join us for the Mizell Show.
Right now. What are you doing? Another episode of the Mizell Show, and Alana's...
Got a ticket for the long way round.
Oh.
The one with the prettiest of the views. Hit that down. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Yeah, we're back on the Mizell Show. Alana has a tea, and she's beatboxing some song.
You know on Pitch Perfect?
Never seen the movie.
Yes, you have. You saw it with me.
What? No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. Blaze goes off on the TV. Welcome to the Mizell's world where Briggs is screaming in his room. I'm doing Pitch Perfect songs, and then Blaze goes off on the TV. Oh my word. You guys, this is the real deal. How do you guys do your podcast? Is it in a super studio? Nope. It's in our dining room table with Briggs in the background and me
Beatboxing.
laying some tracks.
And a paused Blaze show goes off.
And it's Blaze.
I don't think we've done an episode once without you singing.
I need you to also know that every time we see any sort of like pole structure, there's a part in Paw Patrol's theme song where one of the dogs goes down the pole.
Yeah.
And every time he grabs the pole and goes, Paw Patrol, be there on the double.
That's what he does?
He's currently now knocking on his door.
We're going to ignore it and just do our podcast.
It sounds part of the beat.
It sounds like it's part of the beat. All right, we're rolling now. We are back. Welcome to the Mizell Show. And we can't make this up.
You can't make this stuff up.
But we say it on the intro, like it's not a normal life.
It is not a normal life.
It hasn't been a normal week.
No.
No, hasn't.
It's not a normal week. But guys, today we want to talk about...
What we gonna talk about?
It's actually perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
What if it doesn't go as planned?
You mean bedtime?
Bedtime. Blaze going off on the TV. Me thinking of some random song.
The podcast.
That I haven't thought of yet. That was a new one.
Yeah, I guess.
I haven't done one of those. You know, typically it's like Snoop
That was a
Dogg,
great impromptu, like, oh, the podcast is not going like it's supposed to go.
We didn't plan it like that.
We didn't plan it.
So, what if it doesn't go as planned?
Yeah. And that's why we're going to continue having Briggs knock in the background.
Because it's not going as planned.
No.
We're actually telling him to, hey, knock on your door instead of go to sleep like we told you to.
No.
Lies.
And that's what
lies.
Every couple thinks. Oh, I'm going to put my child down at the right time and they're going to go right to sleep. No. Bedtime is...
No, that's our plan. And here's the other one that's a good, like, nobody really cares about your kids, but you know what I'm saying. Parents who listen to this will. So... how about the times that it's twofold. So you go out on a date and stay out too late, but your kids still wake up at 6.
Exactly.
It doesn't go as you planned.
It doesn't go as planned. It doesn't go as you planned.
Or when you don't sleep in on a Saturday and your kids do.
Yeah.
You're like,
you wake up and you're like, I am going to get this stuff done, and you rip and roar, and the house is clean, you worked out, and it's 6:30 and your kids are like sleeping until 9. And you're like
that's
you're like
cool.
looking around like, what do
now what do I do? Because I can't go anywhere because my kids are still asleep. We planned on doing these 12 things. What if it doesn't go as planned? But really, that's not what we're talking about here when we say, what if it doesn't go as planned? Yes, those are day-to-day. What if it doesn't go as planned?
Yeah.
But what if your path, wherever you are...
Uh-huh. Yes. So... What?
This is probably the most challenging recording we've had so far.
Yeah.
With our sweet gem of a son.
And we're just going to keep it raw.
We're going to keep it raw today.
Yeah.
He keeps on waking up. I just had to threaten field day.
Field day tomorrow.
Even though that bro better go to sleep because I don't want him at home. He needs to be at field day.
He needs to be at field day.
Right. I say these things and I realize, no, I don't actually want him at home.
And then also, like...
That's happened before. I've been like...
I'm
gonna throw that out. If you don't stop it, I'm gonna throw it out.
But you need him to have that.
No.
Oh, the flip side of it is you went in there and you said, do you want to go to field day? And he said, nope. So
at first he said no. And I was like,
so
Drats.
There's that bargaining tool.
Right.
But yes, what happens when it doesn't go as planned?
Okay, is that okay if I ask you some questions?
Ask me some questions.
Here we are with Steven Mizell, an interviewee, and
another interview.
Let me tell you a little bit about Steven Mizell. When he was in undergrad, he was at Middle Tennessee State University,
where are you going with this?
MTSU.
Where are you going with this?
Excuse me.
Why are you holding a mic and there's a mic in front of you? She's holding an interview mic and the mic is in front of her people.
I was in character. Do you want me to hold the mic?
No.
But, like, I was trying to be in character, and you just ruined my vibe.
I got it. Ruined
my vibe.
What are you trying to say?
I feel like I'm going to start all over again as the announcer. Steve Mizell, when you were in undergrad at Middle Tennessee State University,
yes,
what did you want to do?
Oh, work on
when you graduated.
Work at ESPN. ESPN sports broadcaster, hands down.
ESPN sports broadcaster. Now, what on earth does that mean?
That means I wanted to be the next Stuart Scott. Like, I wanted to be...
And who is Stuart Scott?
Are you kidding?
I am so serious.
You don't know who Stuart Scott is?
I don't. But Briggs isn't going to field day. Anyway.
I don't know. No, yeah, so when I was at MTS...
Y'all just drown out Briggs. He's fine, I promise. Okay. Stuart Scott is
The Mizell Show podcast... co-hosted by Briggs tonight.
No, seriously.
Stuart Scott is like one of the greatest ESPN broadcasters of all time.
So those are the people that are like at the desk when you click on ESPN.
Yes.
When I was growing up, it was channel 34.
Oh yeah, channel. It was 24 for us growing up.
24.
So the guy 34. That you said looks very, very old and still holding it down, Chris Berman. He's probably was there when
you were
for
on which thing?
ESPN, the football, NFL primetime.
NFL primetime. Okay, or the guy that's College Game Day. What's that guy's name?
Lee Corso.
He's a gazillion years old.
Yes, he is.
But literally, he may have been there when they founded ESPN.
I don't know if he's there for the jump. But no, I went to MTSU because they have a great mass communication program. And, while at MTSU, I got a chance to sit behind a desk and...
Okay, mass communication. What is that? Like, what's the difference between mass and minor? Is there a minor communication?
It's a college of mass communication. So underneath that college...
Is it college of communication?
No, mass communications.
Okay.
So underneath it, they have various areas of communication you can go into.
A specialty.
So like mine was broadcast TV journalism. Or you had radio, or you had music producing.
So you should have done radio because you're now doing a podcast.
Could have done radio, but you had to take some classes in radio. So
I know.
I dipped and dabbed in some radio.
So your dream
in college,
you set out to MTSU,
yes,
was for you to become a anchor.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
And a new sports anchor. Yes.
Sports anchor.
Yes.
With ESPN.
At ESPN.
Like shooting for the moon.
Yes. I actually interviewed at ESPN.
Okay.
Didn't get the job, but I interviewed with them.
You interviewed at ESPN in New York?
They're in Bristol.
Or where?
They're in Bristol, Connecticut. That's where the headquarters
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in Bristol, CT.
Yeah.
I was in the Hampshire.
Yeah.
The Hampshire's New Hampshire.
But also while at MTSU, I dipped and dabbed with the internship at MTV Networks. So they gave me even more kind of validation that I was going to that
like
area.
a fajita.
Yeah, but it was back
Hot
in
off
the
the
day.
press.
Back in the day, MTV. Though.
Before Lecrae coming in hot.
No, yeah, way
when
before.
MTV was actually good.
MTV was good.
Like was Carson Daly on?
Carson Daly was there. I met Carson Daly.
And no.
Yes, Carson Daly.
On Total Request Live?
Yes,
We
TRL.
got shit every day.
TRL, yes.
Every day.
I've got
You
a chance
met
to meet
Carson Daly.
Yes, while working for MTV.
How did I not know that?
I don't know. We never talked about it. And I lived in New York.
I'm like fangirling over Steven because he met Carson Daly.
I met a few people that summer. Met Sarah Jessica Parker and her husband Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Yep, met them.
I would die to meet
nice.
SJP.
SJP. Met Mattis Yahoo.
Mattis Yahoo?
Mattis Yahoo. I'm going to say
Yeah.
it. Yeah, met him. Really cool dude.
Love them.
It was very hands off with him.
I listened to them all through high school.
Met Gym Class Heroes.
Are you so cool?
No, I'm not cool. But it was a great experience though. Working.
You should have used that as pickup lines. Hey, I met Carson Daly once.
I don't know.
Definitely do that.
Our internship group reminded me of the real world though. It was people from all across the Northeast. Still Facebook friends with a couple of the guys.
You were what year in school?
I was a senior.
So you're senior.
No, summer before my senior year of college.
Little do you guys know, Steven graduated a semester early because he's wicked smart.
I mean, I went to White Station.
Super ambitious. Ooh, public school.
Anyway, so yes,
that's just a nod to public school and how smart you are. Just tooting your horn. Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Anyway, okay, so the summer before your senior year, you interviewed for this internship, or how'd you get it?
Well, actually, one of my dad's friends told him about it. Mm-hmm. Still total shot in the dark, but
because Dad is from
New York.
New York.
The
Bronx.
Brooklyn. No, the Bronx. He's from Money Earning, Mount Vernon. So Mount Vernon, which is not that far from the Bronx, the boogie down Bronx.
Did I say the Bronx or did I say Brooklyn?
I said Brooklyn.
Okay.
He's from the Bronx.
I was like, wait a second. No, he's from the Bronx. But you
can't really tell people that, though, because it's like, I'm from Mount Vernon.
Right. He's from where Denzel's from. So pretty much I could remarry Denzel.
Little people don't know that my dad went to high school with Denzel Washington.
Hey. We've got Carson Daly on this today. We've got Sarah Jessica Parker and we've got Denzel. The show is now closing because we have too many names, and now we've got to tag all those folks.
And little do we know also that Sean Puffy Combs is from Mount Vernon.
Sean P. Diddy? Is it P. Diddy or Puffy?
I'm going to say Sean. He was Sean Combs back then.
Just Sean Combs.
He's from Mount Vernon.
He didn't have somebody holding his umbrella.
No, nobody held his umbrella.
I didn't realize he was from Mount Vernon.
He's from Mount Vernon. But a lot of people don't know this, but he went to the private school there. He didn't go to the public school.
Guess he needs to change his raps.
No, he's never really tried to be something he's not. Like, he is an entertainer, like, to the T.
He is.
He had somebody walk to Brooklyn for cheesecake. Like,
you ain't wrong.
He is an entertainment mogul. But to go back to what you said,
okay, back to what was important.
I had to interview for it. I had to, old school.
What if it doesn't go as happened? Okay.
And the crazy thing is, showing my age, I had to mail my application in.
No.
I had to mail it in.
Not facsimile?
No, not facsimile. I mailed it in, and then they called me for a phone interview.
With postage, and you just pray that USPS gets it there? Or do you have a tracking number?
No, I don't know. I just mailed it. I did say, I remember the day I went to the post office and dropped it off in the prayer I said, and then they called me, and I got it.
You got it. So you finish your internship, and
yeah.
You got an interview at ESPN in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
So then what was your plan?
Did you know that I sell makeup? Not only do I sell makeup, but the makeup that I sell is 3D makeup, which allows you to highlight and contour your face in a super simple compact. As a mom, I could not survive without my simplified routine. Not only that, but it's exactly what you need. Exactly when you need it, all in one spot. Go ahead and check out Alanna Mizell on Instagram or alannamizell.com to learn more.
well, I already had numerous plans kind of working because the summer before.
So you're going into your junior year.
I interned with a radio station here in Memphis. How I met Carson at Q107.5.
Who's awesome.
Who's now in Boston. Still co-host.
He's legit Kennedy. One of my favorite people.
He's awesome.
And I've only talked to him one time.
Only one time. We gotta get him on the show. Try it out.
Oh my gosh.
His voice is so majestically radio.
We wouldn't say any words.
Wouldn't say any words.
We would just be like, Carson,
so
talk
I had interned with them. Then I went to New York. And then upon graduation, the goal was, of course, Connecticut. ESPN didn't work out. So I had the option of coming back and working at radio at Q7.5. But while at MTSU, I was a go-getter. I was a lovely campus tour guide.
Wait, but let's pause for a second. So you had an internship going into your junior year and going into your senior year. So everybody that is currently in undergrad and or getting their master's, I just want you to listen to what Steven just said. He had an internship going into his junior year and going into his senior year in two different avenues, both in what he wanted to go into.
Yeah.
Did you get paid for either one?
Q107.5 was paid. MTV was not paid.
In New York, not paid.
Not paid.
Because MTV doesn't have to pay because you met Carson Daly and Sarah Jessica
And you want to do that. So funny story. I had to live with my aunt in Peekskill, New York, which is an hour from the city.
Yeah, you learned about living outside the city.
I lived outside the city, so people always ask, how do I get up early? Back then, I was getting up at 3, 4 o'clock to drive to the train station, then ride the train into the city, then ride the subway to the actual Times Square, and had to do that. So we were looking at...
So the whole time you also were like, I'm living my dream, though.
Living my dream. Slept on her couch.
You slept on her couch.
Slept on the couch.
Y'all.
And last but not least, I think you know this, I worked weekends at Tuesday morning as a stalker and cashier.
You did?
Yeah.
You guys, I didn't even know this about Steven. How funny is this episode?
Yes, I worked at Tuesday morning across the street from my aunt's condo facility. So I would walk there and I would work Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, 8-hour shifts.
To make money. To be able to do anything.
To do anything. And then...
And actually partially enjoy New York.
New York. We only, in that whole 3-month internship, I actually only went out like three times. Like went out in New York. Because it's a process. Like you're going back to the city, and I crashed at one of the other interns' flat. It was a very long.
It was a lot.
But the 3 nights we went out, you better believe we had wristbands and we were out.
You were out.
We were out.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
But so you finish your internship. You don't get the job at ESPN.
Don't get a job at MTV.
You've been a tour guide at MTSU. And then, so your plan originally was broadcast journalism at ESPN. That was the ultimate goal. What happened when it didn't go as planned?
The initial hurt was like, I've done so much. And throughout the whole time at MTSU, you know, I worked with the radio station and made connections in the major, had a good GPA, and everything was going the way it's supposed to do. So when I got those 2 rejections from MTV and from ESPN, and ultimately I turned down Q1075 because when I weighed the pros and cons of going and working in radio for $10.75 an hour, or MTSU started me at $35 full benefits, and it's something that was a brand new job, why not try it?
Right.
But the initial goal, like you said, everything was pointing towards me going to work at one of those places, and I didn't get it.
Right. You didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
So what did that look like, though? Did anybody from your internship cohort get the job at MTV?
2 people got jobs.
2 people got jobs.
Yes.
So instantly, did you compare their accolades to yours?
Yes. I compared it.
Okay, let's walk through that. What did that look like?
I compared it because I saw their work ethic while they were there. I compared it to, we were all in different cohorts at MTV. And, you know, but they were in a cohort that got more FaceTime with the hiring people. They got more. So I was like, hey, you play the whole what if game. You say, oh, but what if I hadn't got placed in this cohort? What if I had a chance.
So there were
to see
subgroups
there
of
were
you guys
subgroups,
at
yes.
and the specific two happened to have gotten to know the HR people or the hiring people.
The hiring people, yes, definitely.
Okay.
And then also, last but not least, one of the girls that got it, I think her name was Erin, and she is the daughter of the lead guitarist of a very famous rock band. I can't think of the name of it.
But like
But the shade was there for that. For like, I was like, oh, she got it because of who her dad was.
So you didn't even let her actually live out her truth because you were already judging.
I said her truth. I said, I saw how you worked, but
no matter how hard she actually worked.
Yes, 100%.
Now looking back years later, did she work hard?
Yes, she did. And she continues to work hard.
Do you think that she got it because of her dad? Or do you think that may have been a small factor?
I think it was a small factor, but I don't think they would have hired her if she hadn't worked hard just because her dad. Because they had so many other people to choose from. So I think her dad might have given her a little bit of clout. But we've all seen it where a dad or a cousin, whoever gives you 95% of clout.
Actually, you even knowing about the MTV opportunity is because of your dad. So, like, let's just go out and say that.
Exactly.
And had your aunt not said, hey, you can sleep on my couch for 3 months.
Yeah. Like, let's be honest. I quote unquote struggled during my internship, but I still had a place to lay my head. I still had an opportunity to work at Tuesday morning. And I'll be honest with you, the Tuesday morning was the one my aunt always shopped at, and she told the lady my nephew's coming to stay here this summer. He might be looking for a job.
Right, because who gives you a job for 3 months?
Well,
ain't
no,
nobody.
but they also met me.
Well, I know that, but okay. So what if it doesn't go as planned is what this episode is all about. And because it didn't go as planned, you ended up meeting me years down the road.
Oh, years down the road. But I think the bigger thing that we have to look at, when it doesn't go to plan, don't forget the small life lessons you get when it doesn't go according to plan. So when it didn't go according to plan with me, I got a chance to look back on that. That was the really only time in my entire life I actually interacted with that aunt. Like when I left that internship, I never really had time to spend with her because she was in New York and life. So, but like those 4 months, I got a chance to learn about her, learn about my dad's side of the family that I might not have ever learned about.
Yeah.
But that just gets pushed aside when you're trying to get the job.
But also, I think everything that you're saying is so important because what you're saying is essentially I've failed.
Yeah.
And societally, we've put such a bad connotation on the word failed because it's either you've hit this goal of becoming a mass media broadcast journalist or you haven't.
Yeah.
Like it's yes or no.
Yeah.
There's no maybe.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when you're a kid and you ask your parents something and they say maybe, you know it's a no.
Yeah.
But like, what if it's not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so much freedom in maybe. There's so much more that you learn in maybe. And I think it's twofold. Like, you had to feel your feels. Like, you had to feel like you were slighted a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's human. And to not voice that you felt slighted when you weren't selected, I think also diminishes your truest emotion.
Yeah.
As a human being. But then exactly what you said, kind of reflecting back and saying, okay, it didn't go as planned. I didn't hit the goal. Did I become a mass media for ESPN? No. But what did I do?
Yeah, and
what is the growth that Steven had in the 3-month time frame?
Yes.
That is indisposable.
Yeah, the growth checkpoints, the growth that you get in those times of, you look back after you failed, because I know for a fact, if I would have gotten a job at MTV or gotten a job at ESPN, I would have said, oh, those are great moments, but I wouldn't have cherished those moments even more. Even going back to my internship coordinator at MTV, through that whole process of me getting no's, she continued to help and mentor me and build the resume to look at the next opportunity that she didn't have to do.
No, she could have cut you off.
And the people that I met through that I still have, talked to every blue moon via Facebook, but it's still like what you have to look back on those growth moments, because when you get that goal, you don't remember those a lot of times.
But tell me more into this. I want to dig into what you learned by it not going as planned. What you learned about Steven. So what did you learn about yourself? So far we've talked about how other people helped you because you connected with them, these other connections you've made. We talked about you being able to, you know, really hone in on a relationship with your aunt and dig in deeper to that, which are all beautiful things. But the piece that we're missing is it didn't go as planned. What did you learn about yourself while you were at your internship?
I learned that, I think at the internship and looking back on it, what I learned about myself is that I stepped out on my own. You know, yes, I had my dad on it, but I stepped out on my own and went after something that I had, they probably no right to get out of all the people that applied for it. And I got it.
Right.
And I made the most out of it.
Like, you had no business being
I had no
there.
business being there. A kid from Memphis at MTSU who is a good program, but compared to everybody else that applied for that program,
Right.
I actually got that. And now sitting here and talking about it, I'm like, man, I really didn't cherish that moment, but I did. But like, that's huge of just the self-confidence that came from that. And I think that's what exuberated me to go into being able to do the public speaking with working for admissions and being a tour guide and going right into the admissions fields, because I'm like, hey, if I was able to take what this small nugget was and to grow it to New York, why can't I go and tell this high schooler or this other person that they can go to college and get their education and go after what they want to go? You might not get it, but the next step could be just as impactful. And I think that's what happened with me.
So for those that don't understand, Steven then went into admissions at MTSU.
Yeah, as an admissions counselor.
So, and what that looks like for those that don't understand is admissions counselors at some of these bigger institutions, they go to different high schools or they go to college fairs and they tell you about their school, and they literally have to be on point, ready to go about their school, be able
phenomenal storytellers,
and tell anything about their university and outsell literally the table to their right and their left.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, they're all buddy together.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. They are all good friends, but don't put a star recruit in front of them. It's like scavengers.
Oh yeah,
I'm out to sell you.
It's crazy.
But that's what he did next. So that's what Steven is talking about. It's just like how that gave him the confidence to be able to articulate that. Now tell me this: before you went to New York, was there something that gave you the hustle to be able to drive all that way and not quit? Because you can't tell me that it was really the plan when you applied to MTSU that you were going to be driving an hour in and an hour out and like actually rationalize what that looks like.
I mean, I think you go through different stepping stones to be able to get to those next things. And I would say my internship with Q107.5 was something I randomly applied for. It was a radio job, and I came in, I remember, with a suit and tie on, and Carson's like, boy, you're overdressed for this. And I'm like, hey, I got to dress how I feel like I need to dress for the job.
You came in a suit and tie.
I came in a suit to a radio show.
And nobody can see you.
Nobody can see me.
Hey.
And they were like, who's this guy coming in with that? But again, here's this.
You know, I respect that.
I appreciate that. Here's this kid coming in that knows nothing about Q107.5, just wants to get his foot in the door with a radio station.
With any sort of communication. Sort of thing.
And so I think that was the stepping stone to me applying and thinking I can go to New York and try for this. And it brought my confidence to, hey, if I've done this, why can't I go to ESPN? And then boom, I don't get ESPN, I don't get MTV, but I'm like, hey, this opportunity is presenting himself right here, and being an admissions counselor is still a phenomenal opportunity. But the key is, a lot of people have to understand, just because you, what's the word I'm looking for? You sway or you shift, that doesn't mean you're quitting on something you really want to do. So here I am, 20 years
like
later, doing a podcast. Oh, 20 years. Oh my God, not 20 years. A few years later, doing a podcast
just a few.
where I'm still using those skill sets I got way back then.
Yeah.
But I've done so many other things in that time.
Y'all, I wish you could see Steven's face.
But I'm still
He's not in a suit, just so you know.
I'm not wearing a suit. But talking to you is bringing the epiphany, like, oh yeah, I'm still, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, and you knew how to use GarageBand for our podcast.
Because I edited back in.
Y'all, quick story about this. So I'm sitting here the month before we're like, we've got a launch date for the podcast. I'm sitting here literally YouTubing GarageBand and how to use this darn thing. And Steven goes, this is after hours of YouTubing. Steven goes, oh, I know how to do that. And I was like, I'm about to throw my computer. But he knew how to do that because of these other experiences. And so many times our plan is so narrow focused.
Yeah.
And why did you want to be on ESPN?
Because of what it would have looked like and what I think it would have felt like in terms of, hey, this is what ESPN would feel like. I would be able to, go back to Memphis in high school and say, I'm on ESPN. It was more for the...
Does it have anything to do with the fact that you've battled rejection in your life?
It probably does. It probably does. I mean, I'm just be honest with you. It probably does. But
right.
Yeah, I mean...
But also, what a far cry for the high schooler that battled rejection, and even the college guy that's battled rejection.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't heard it, there's an episode that talks about, do you know your value? Go back and listen to that one, and then come on back. Or whenever you finish this one, then go back and listen to that. But a guy that has battled rejection and having to continuously face rejection ends up turning into a guy who has confidence in a different avenue.
Yeah. And you don't realize the confidence to be able to go to New York City and just be with people that I have no idea. Like, that's a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like moving to Memphis and knowing one person.
Well, you want to start your episode? Because you've talked to me this whole time. We can do it. What does it...
No, I just think it's so important to actually go through the big... So in therapy, we talk about big T traumas. So the traumas that everybody would be like, whoa, you went through that? Miscarriage, sexual abuse, big T traumas.
Yeah.
But there's also little T traumas in between. And just like when it doesn't go as planned, there are big P plans. And then I think there are small P plans.
Yeah. I think that is so true in terms of when it doesn't go as planned and then you have the small P's that you add up. And I think that's phenomenal. And I think it's so good that we're going to turn this into a 2-part episode. So tune in next week to hear some of Alanna's part of her journey of what happened when it didn't go as planned since we turned this into me. So check us out next week.
So if you guys are enjoying this, definitely leave us a review. Give us the feedback. If there's something you guys want us to talk about, reach out to us on our website at themizellshow.com. There is a contact section. You can put it in there. We would love to hear about it. Or you can always go over to Instagram at The Mizell Show. Also, as always, don't forget to screenshot this episode and just add it to your stories and tag us on Instagram, on Facebook at The Mizell Show. Thanks, guys. Are you loving The Mizell Show? Well, we love you all. And did you know that you can have me and Steven talk to your team or a group of 25 of your friends? All it takes is 25 people showing up on either a Zoom call, a Facebook Live, or really anywhere. Hopefully in person sooner rather than later. But how do you get us? So all you have to do is email themizellshow@gmail.com, or you can direct message us on Instagram at The Mizell Show.